Welcome to this lecture on operators. Now, every language must provide some operators and through which you can achieve expressions. Now, operators perform on single or multiple operands to return a result. Now, based on how many operands that we use, now they are divided into different categories. At the end of this video, you should be able to explain operators, list different types of operators provided in Java. Now let's begin with what is an operator. Now operator are special symbols such as plus, minus, star, slash, whatever. Now they perform specific operations on 1, 2 or 3 operands. Now they have to return some result. So at the end of the arithmetic operation or logical expression, whatever that we are doing, there has to be some result so we can capture and store it in a variable. Different categories exist. Operators can be categorized as unary or binary or ternary. Unary operators work on single operands, binary work on 2 operands and ternary are 3. Unary operators work on a single operand. Postfix, prefix. For example, if there is an expression such as a variable, let's say x, I'm doing x plus plus or x minus minus or plus plus x or minus minus x. X is the only operand that we have. Hence it's called as a unary operator. Sometimes you also want to say, hey, this is a negative value or this is a positive value, even though you don't do that in practice. For example, minus x would represent the negative version of x. There is a bitwise not. Now, a bitwise not just is going to say that, hey, if there is a 0, it's a 1. If it's a 1, it becomes 0. Now, there is also a logical not. If there is a Boolean expression, something like a less than b or b less than a, and you want to get the negative or complement of that, use this one. Binary operators, on the other hand, they work on 2 operands. So there is always an operator, and on both sides of the operator, there are 2 operands. The operands can be constants or variables. There are arithmetic operators, there are relational operators, logical operators, shift and bitwise operators, and assignment operators. Arithmetic operators, as the name suggests, they do some mathematics. Relational operators basically compare the relationship between 2 operands. Logical combine multiple relational operators. Shift and bitwise, they work with the internal bits within a memory. And then there is an assignment. Take A is equals to B, B is equals to A, or comparison, stuff like that. So arithmetic operators are divided into multiplicative, where you have a multiplication symbol, asterisk, slash for division, and percentage for modulus, reminder. Now there is an additive, plus and minus. Now when you see an expression that has a combination of these operators, you should prefer to evaluate now the one that is on your left side, that is multiplicative, followed by the additive. Now if you have plus and minus used in the same expression, then whichever comes on the left, and they get evaluated first. Relational operators compare the relationship between different operands. There is a less than, greater than, less than or equals to, greater than or equals to, instance of. Now instance of is a keyword. Now it checks whether a reference is an instance of a class. I can say if animal is a class, A1 is a variable, I can check if A1 instance of animal or not. Now there is also an equality, double equals to. Now beware, because in some languages you will use single equals for comparison, but here single equals is for assignment, so we need to be careful in that. Not equals to is exclamation equals to. So you are saying, hey, A not equals to B. Is it true or not? Now in some languages we use a combination of less than and greater than for not equals to. In Java, that's not allowed. There are the logical operators too. When you have multiple conditions, you can use an AND operation, such as condition 1 supposed to be true as well as condition 2 is supposed to be true, then the whole expression becomes true. The other one is an OR operator, which is just like saying that either this condition or that condition. Anything is okay, so we will go ahead. Now, there is a shift and bitwise operators. Now, just a point to note that we don't use shift and bitwise operators too much in Java. Now, the intention of this is to shift the bits of a byte or bytes, one bit or multiple bits, either onto the left or onto the right. There is also a combination of and or that you can work with, and an exclusive or. Now, this is quite common to people who come from C background, which is a ternary operator. Work on 3 operands. This is the only one that has. So there is a question mark and colon included. EXPR1 or expression 1 is always supposed to be Boolean. Now in C, C++, they can be numerics as well. Based on 0, non-zero, they'll be evaluated as false and true. But in Java, you have to use Boolean. A Boolean variable, Boolean expression, a combination of Boolean expression using and or logical operations, they all are okay. You can even use function calls that return a Boolean. But if that Boolean expression results in true, then expression 2 is evaluated and expression 3 is ignored. But if the expression 1 fails, then expression 2 is ignored, expression 3 is evaluated. Now this acts a very simple if condition. Now we will look into this in more examples in the further videos. Let's take a look at assignment operators now. Assignment is where you take a value of an expression or a function call and assign it to a variable. You note that you can only assign to a variable, not to a function or a constant. Now there is an equals to, a very simple assignment. Take the value of some variable, assign it to another one. Now there is also a short circuit operators such as star equals to, slash equals to, percentage equals to, plus equals, minus equals. For example, a plus equals to 10 will take the value of a and increment it by 10. A minus equals to 5 will reduce the value of a by 5. There is also a shift operators which can be used along with the assignment. So the actual shift operation is done and the assignment also is done. So there is a and exclusive or, there is a pipe which is meant for or. These are all bitwise operators which also work with the equalities. Now let's summarize the key points that we discussed in this video. Operators are special symbols. They can be categorized as unary, binary or ternary based on how many operands that they work on. Unary operators work on single operands, binary operates on 2 operands, and then the ternary operates on 3 operands.